South Africa's unacceptably high levels of crime and violence remain a national crisis. Hopes fading for trapped Ekapa miners, and the growing cult of Donald Trump as airport set for renaming after him. But first, from the 1st of March, you will pay more to use Sunrail tolls across the country. Tariffs are increasing by 3.12% in line with inflation.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
We know South Africa is violent. The stats don't lie. Including a spike in the number of police killed over the period. But there's a sliver of good news.
During this quarter, total violent crime decreased again by 6.7%, or 12,682 fewer cases reported to the South African Police Service when compared with the same quarter last year. Over the last 2 years, total violent crime for this quarter is down by 8.3%.
The chances of finding anyone alive at the Ekapa mine are slim. The operation to recover 5 miners is expected to run longer as rising water levels hamper efforts nearly a kilometre underground. They've been trapped since Tuesday following a mudslide. Mineral and Petroleum Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe says the Council for Geoscience is helping trace the source of the water.
I've said to him, please bring Council for Geoscience so that we can actually have a sense of where this water comes from, rather than seeing water raising levels and then come down. CGS will be able to detect where the water comes from so that you address the problem from the origin.
Suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrach Sabir has been accused of acting prematurely to disband the political killings task team. Testifying at the Badlanga Commission, Sabir said he was implementing a directive from Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. But commissioners say the instruction should have come from National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola.
Whatever that I implemented, it was just based on a common understanding that we are acting on this directive by the minister. At that point in time, no one ever expected that this could lead to this mountainous problem that we are now dealing with. I just feel that I'm being punished for being effective. We were working within the official instruction coming from the minister to the national commissioner to us. And we are at all material times complying with the national commissioner's instruction to make sure that we push the handing over process.
If that instruction was ever given by the national commissioner, it's contained somewhere else. And you are free to refer us to that. But we can't keep doing this where you are insisting.
The Judicial Conduct Committee will investigate a complaint against corruption-accused Judge Portia Pahlane. The complaint was lodged by Acting Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba after Pahlane and her son were arrested on corruption charges linked to a church succession dispute. She'll not preside over part-heard matters while the process unfolds. At the same time, Ledwaba has also been accused of taking a 2.5 million rand bribe to grant alleged crime boss Katiso Molefe bail of 100,000 rand. Ledwaba denies the allegation. The Western Cape government says it aims to reach herd immunity for foot and mouth disease by December. Agriculture MEC Ivan Meyer says 15,000 cattle have already been vaccinated and quarantined, with 5 confirmed cases in the province.
In Gouda, in Drakenstein, we have effectively dealt with that. We implemented immediately clinical science. We tested it, roadblocks, quarantine, and all those animals have subsequently also been slaughtered.
1 million vaccine doses are on the way from Argentina. Nationally, more than 14 million cattle are to be vaccinated. Parliament has reported several ministers to Deputy President Paul Mashatile for failing to answer written questions by the end of 2025. Public Works Minister Dean McPherson leads with 26 unanswered questions. Communication Minister Soli Malatsi failed to respond to 15, while Planning Minister Marupeni Ramakgopa also missed deadlines.
As someone who spent years on the opposition benches, pushing for executive accountability to have questions lapse, and the number of such questions lapsing is totally indefensible.
Others who missed the deadline include Buti Manamela, Kombutso Nchiveni and Gayton McKenzie. Former Royal Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been released under investigation for alleged misconduct in public office. The decision now rests with the Crown Prosecution Service on whether there is enough evidence to charge him. He became the first senior royal in nearly 4 centuries to be arrested. The probe centres on claims linked to his association with disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
We had access to highly confidential reports about trade and other countries. It is alleged that he passed along this info to his friend Jeffrey Epstein.
If prosecuted and convicted, he could face life imprisonment. The state of Epstein has agreed to pay up to $35 million to settle claims from alleged victims. The deal covers people who say they were abused or trafficked by Epstein between 1995 and his death in 2019. The payout will be $35 million if 40 or more victims qualify. An airport in Florida, Palm Beach International Airport, is going to be renamed after Donald Trump. The airport is minutes from Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence. Other institutions linked to Trump's name include the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, is now Trump Kennedy Center, proposals to rename Pennsylvania Station in New York, Dulles International Airport, and draft plans for a commemorative $1 coin bearing his image. Large banners of Trump already hang from several federal buildings in Washington, including the headquarters of the Department of Justice. We'll see you again on Monday.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.